Boys, lads, girls, women. Oh, this is a big moment. This is a big moment. So, look at this. This is the Korean Monster Forum. And they may or may not have done a whoopsie. And, yeah, the Beast Rider skills are available. So, I have translated all of them, just in case they removed it. I also archived the link, so we can try to check it later. And yeah, this is exciting. I haven't looked through their skills yet, but I have translated all 5 elements here, and we'll look over them shortly. So, first of all, to understand how Beast Riders work, so they have 2 forms. They have mounted form, and then they have dismounted form. So, from what I assume, the first part of the skills will be their skills when they are mounted, and the second part of the skills will be when they are dismounted from the beast. Okay, so normal attack, level 1 attacks the enemy target. Seems like nothing here. We can probably expect the regular 165, maybe 200 multiplier on that. Quick link, skill cooldown 24 seconds. Now keep in mind, for the monster forums, these skill cooldowns are for not max skills. Basically skills at level 1. So usually when a skill is at 24 seconds at level 1, it goes down to 20 or 18 seconds. Which means this is most likely gonna be a 18 second 3 mana skill. This is what we're gonna assume. So first skill, potentially 3 mana, 18 seconds. Quickly rushes in and deals damage to the enemy twice in proportion to your attack speed, okay? Each hit grants a decrease in defense, and if your attack speed is higher than the enemy's target's attack speed. The cooldown of Giant Howl, which is the second skill, whoops, is reduced. Okay, double attack defense break, sort of in line with her ability in Sky Arena. And damage proportional to attack speed, so quite interested to see how much multiplier that has. Unfortunately, now we do not have the multiplier, we only have the skill so far. So yeah, not a bad skill for a 3 mana, I would say. Giant Howl, skill cooldown 30 seconds, so potentially one skilled up, 26 or 24 seconds and 4 mana. Howl with the beast, dealing damage proportional to your attack speed and reducing defense to the enemies within the range, so AoE defense break. Grants immunity to yourself. Ooh, okay. So first skill defense break, second skill AoE defense break, and both skills scale with attack speed. Potentially really nice, potentially really nice. Ultimate Giant Howl, so this should be the mounted form. Howl loudly with the beast, dealing damage proportional to your attack speed to the enemies within the range and accumulating additional effects depending on the level of fire energy. Oh yeah, they do have some sort of like energy stacking mechanism like the Dragon Knights, like the Ninetail Foxes, all of that. Now, passive rider. So the passives they have will be very similar, at least the last part from what I've seen. So it has to do with their mounting, dismounting methods, I guess, something like that. So each time you gain immunity, which you can get from this skill as well as from quite a few buffers in the meta, you are given fire energy. Your attack speed increases at each stage of fire energy, and fire energy decreases at certain intervals. So most likely every few seconds, every like 10 seconds or something like that. Additionally, it reduces the amount of damage received in proportion to your attack speed. Whoa, the more attack speed you have, the less damage you take, so it's gonna be beneficial to stack that. When it receives fatal damage, it will refill its health bar and climb off the beast. Yeah, so dismounting, instead of dying, it will dismount from the beast. Now, the bad thing about stacking attack speed, if you stack a lot of attack speed to begin with, and then on top of that she gets this fire energy, keep in mind attack speed is limited to 300, so if you stack something like 250, 260 on her just with your runes, you may very easily overcap that energy with that fire energy thingy, right? With that passive. So one of the builds will probably be going a bit lower attack speed, but at that point you are also going to be losing on damage and losing on damage reduction because that scales with attack speed as well. So yeah, I don't know, sounds a bit tricky to build. And now what I'm assuming is once she is dismounted, the second part of her skills will be her skills without the beast. So Technically, this should be a little bit weaker if we are basing it off the base game of Sky Arena. So normal attack, nothing special, attacks the enemy target. First skill, again, 3 mana, potentially 20 or 80 seconds. Quickly rushes in and deals damage proportional to the enemy's attack speed and reduces their defense. So a defense break still. A single hit looks like. Second skill, beginning of revenge. Skill cooldown most likely 26 to 24, 4 mana. Throw a spear and inflict damage to the enemy in proportion to your attack speed and apply additional effects. Cumulatively? Oh wow, I butchered that word. Depending on the level of fire energy. Ooh! So this could be some sort of like a Hail Mary strategy, right? You stack a lot of attack speed with the previous form, and then once you dismount it, throw that boy out and potentially do some harmful effects. We'll be curious to see what those harmful effects are. Why does it keep dodging like that? But yeah, ultimate, throw a spear and inflict damage to the enemy in proportion to your attack speed and apply additional effects cumulatively depending on the level of fire energy. Again, very similar to this, most likely just like 2 times higher multiplier or something. And then the last passive, Vengeance. Your attack speed increases at each stage of fire energy and fire energy decreases at certain intervals. Additionally, the amount of damage received and the amount of damage dealt increases in proportion to attack speed. Wait, so it looks like the passive is actually a little bit stronger perhaps? Or maybe it will have lower scaling, yeah? So yeah, Fire Guy looks like he is purely there with the base speed, right? With attack speed rather, so I mean, if you're not stacking attack speed on this guy, you are making a big mistake, potentially. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, all of the Beast Riders are warrior type, so they will be potentially attacking your assassins if they go in the back. If not, they will just be fighting in the front line for you. Now, the Water Beast Rider. Now, don't quote me on this, I still don't know whether that will be the case, however, Korea does have a Water Beast Rider story mode, like the storybook thing where you can get a free monster, right? However, from the rewards, it's still a bit unclear whether you get the reward. I've checked the last reward, it looks like you get 20 5-star monster pieces, but it doesn't specifically say Beast Rider, so we're yet to see whether that's the case, but if it is, it could be interesting. So, the Water Beast Rider, again, warrior type as well. Basic attack, nothing special. Fatal Linkage, 24 seconds, so potentially 20 or 18, and 3 mana cost. Deals damage proportional to your attack speed to the enemy target with the beast twice. Each hit removes 2 strengthening effects and grants Oblivion! No, wait. Wait, I just realized. Hits twice. It hits twice. Each hit removes 2. That is a 4 buff strip. And on top of that, it gives Oblivion on each hit. So if you miss one, you'll potentially land the other. That is a direct counter to shield and immunity set that you get from Hero. That is on 3 mana, by the way. Oh, that is big. That's massive. Now, yeah, it's gonna be 3 mana because 24 seconds without skill ups will be 20 to 18. 4 strips and Oblivion. yeah, that's insane. And potentially a free unit as well. Beginning of Adventure, second skill, so 30 seconds, which will most likely be 26 to 24 and 4 mana. Quickly rushes in and deals damage to the enemy twice in proportion to your attack speed. Each hit dispels 2 standing effects, so again, 2 strips. And if your attack speed is higher than the enemy target's attack speed, the cooldown of Fatal Linkage is reduced. Wow, so it will reduce the cooldown of this skill. And let's be real, pretty much no unit needs attack speed in the game, especially a frontline unit who the warriors will be attacking, or assassins. There's only like a very small amount of assassins that need high attack speed. Probably one of the ravens, like maybe the Dark on light ones. I'm not even sure about their skills. Like units like Etna, units like any Hell Lady actually. Units like Lupinus, I guess, could stack attack speed, but even then it shouldn't be too difficult to overcome that. So that's, in most cases, that's gonna be a guaranteed cooldown reduce for that first skill. Nice. Ultimate, throw a spear and inflict damage proportional to your attack speed to the enemies within the range. Ooh, AoE as well. And wait, was that one AoE? No, it doesn't seem like this one is in AoE. Yeah, damage is to the enemy, one enemy. So, second skill is not AoE, ultimate is an AoE. So, throws a spear and inflict damage proportional to your attack speed to enemies within the range and apply additional effects. Yeah, depending on the level of water energy. So, very similar to the fire one actually, for the ultimate. Again, the rider passive, so from what I've seen, I only briefly looked at the fire and water ones, so looks like the first part changes a bit, but the dismount thing remains the same. So passive, each time you cancel a strengthening effect, so every time you strip, you are given water energy. At each water energy stage, a certain percentage of defense is penetrated. Oh my. And water energy is reduced at certain intervals. Additionally, it reduces the amount of the damage received in proportion to your attack speed. Oh, again, reduces damage based on attack speed. When it receives fatal damage, it will refill its health and climb off the beast. Okay, this is big. Double strip on 3 mana. Imagine first hit removes 2 buffs, applies Oblivion. The second hit, whether it strips or not, whatever, it also ignores defense. Now, based on Sky Arena, I believe the defense she ignored was something like 30%, but it also scaled based on the amount of debuffs she stripped. So, I think at 4 buffs it was like 100% ignore, something like that. But don't quote me on that, that's what I briefly remember. Actually, you know what? What we can do is actually check. Water Beast Rider. Let's look at that. I think it's better to confirm, like, their skills, from what I'm reading, the fire and water one do seem sort of similar. So, let me see. Ignores defense by 25%, adds get out. Basically, yeah, we saw it, whatever. So yeah, around 25% potentially per buff. That's big, that's big. So, now the dismounted form. Basic attack, just attacks the enemy target. This one, first skill, again, potentially 20 to 18 seconds and 3 mana. Quickly rushes in and deals damage proportionate to your attack speed to the enemy target and grants Oblivion. Yeah, so as you can see, dismounted form is sort of a bit weaker. Like, previous one, double attack, double strip on each hit, double Oblivion. This one, you just do damage and do Oblivion. So it's sort of like a safeguard in case you just barely didn't kill him. Second skill, potentially 4 mana again. Throw a spear and inflict damage to the enemy in proportionate to your attack speed and apply additional effects cumulative. That word, you can read it, I don't know. Depending on the level of water energy. So pretty much the same thing, except there is no strip, I believe, yeah? Yeah. And the ultimate throws the spear hard. Oh, it throws it hard, you know? Inflicting damage to the enemy in proportion to your attack speed and apply additional effects. I'm gonna do it. Cumulatively. Yeah, there we go. Depending on the level of water energy. Very similar to that one, except it doesn't reduce damage, it seems like. Oh no, that was the passive. So, ultimate, pretty similar, no strip again, right? Vengeance. Each time you cancel a strengthening effect, so every time you strip, you are given water energy. At each water energy stage, a certain percentage of defense is penetrated. Oh, straight up defense penetration no matter which skill. The problem is you are given water energy, but neither of the skills strip, right? Let me see, this one doesn't strip. Our first skill doesn't strip, and ultimate... Yeah, none of the skills strip, so that passive, like this part, where you are given, is sort of useless. Additionally, the amount of damage received and the amount of damage dealt increases in proportion to your attack speed. Again, stacking attack speed is the way to go for this one, and it's also a warrior type. Oh, okay, not bad, not bad. And now the Wind Beast Rider, Savannah. This one, I would say, was probably the strongest out of 3 in the regular element range, so like fire, water, and wind. I would say she, well, maybe not the strongest, but definitely had the most versatility, the most use. So, basic attack, nothing special there. First skill, again, possibly 3 mana. Deals damage proportional to your attack speed to the enemy target with the beast twice. Each hit that moves 2 stranded again. 4 strips and oblivion on each. Wait, no, that's not. Oh, it is right. It is right. So the same skill as water. 4 strips and 2 oblivions. 4 again. If this is correct, that each hit and it hits twice. So that should be 4. It might be 2. Who knows? Potentially it's gonna be 4. Oh, that second skill. I am not ready. It's potentially. Is it gonna be an AoE defense break and cooldown increase or something? Let me see. Giant Howl, 4 mana skill, most likely. Deals damage proportional to your defense? Ooh. To enemies within range and grants skill cooldown, slowdown. Oh, so what's it called? The acceleration, right? Where it doesn't reduce the cooldown, but it charges slower. Grants increased defense to yourself, cool. Potentially that happens after the attack though, so don't get too hyped. Grants a dragon soul to yourself in proportion to the number of targets hit. So an AoE, you get some kind of dragon soul. We'll see the passive, we'll see what the passive does. Ultimate, howl loudly with the beast, dealing damage proportional to your attack speed to enemies within the range and accumulating additional effects depending on the level of energy. Still don't know what the effects are. Now this one, see, this, wait, which one scales with defense? This one scales with defense, but this one scales with attack speed, and the passive, or rather the ultimate, is also very based on attack speed, so it's kind of weird, I don't know. Wish they made it based on attack speed here as well, but we'll see. Okay, passive, Rider. Each time a debilitating effect is applied. Debilitating, what could that be? That's either gonna be a harmful effect or a CC effect. Let me see, does she have any CC effects? She has the skill cooldown, which is a regular effect. This one, yeah, I have a feeling it's gonna be regular harmful effects, you know? But it's hard to say. Debilitating could also be CC effects. Problem with that is she does not have any inbuilt CC effects on her beast form, so yeah, it would be weird if it was CC, because it would pretty much only work with despair, right? Okay, your attack power increases at each stage of wind energy. Oh, higher attack power, interesting. And wind energy decreases at certain intervals. Additionally, it reduces the amount of damage based on attack speed, and when it falls, it regens and gets off the beast. Okay, so dismounted form. Basic attack, nothing. First skill, 3 mana, potentially. Quickly rushes in and deals damage proportional to your attack speed to the enemies within range, and grants oblivion. Okay, so the same thing as the water one. Second skill, 4 mana most likely. Throw a spear and inflict damage to the enemy in proportion to your attack speed. And apply additional effects cumulatively. I think I did it that time. Depending on the level of wind energy. Nothing special, I guess. Ultimate, throw the spear hard. Again, another hard throw. Inflicting damage to the enemy in proportion to your attack speed, and apply additional effects cumulatively depending on the level of wind energy. Again, no difference pretty much from all of the other elements. And Vengeance. Your attack power increases at each stage of wind energy, and wind energy decreases at certain intervals. Additionally, the amount of damage received and the amount of damage dealt increases in proportion to your attack speed. Okay. I don't know. I don't know how to feel like. I feel like the water one, the second skill was maybe a little bit better for my liking. Of course, Skill slowdown is an insane ability, honestly. But also, if you just cleanse that... Now, the cool thing, she does get defense buff and it scales with defense, so as a frontliner, she's gonna be a little bit more decent than the water one, who is probably just gonna be... It's gonna be, you know what? It's gonna be very hard to build these. Because look at this. They are frontline, so you will not want them to be full on damage, full on squishy. You will want some tankiness, but also you need to build attack speed. Then also you need to build, on top of HP and attack speed, you also need to build defense, because it scales with defense. And potentially you will want to do crit damage. You also need quite a bit of accuracy for them all. Oh, I don't know, we'll see. And because they are attack speed based, you also want to take benefit of their basic attack, so you're potentially gonna be building precision as well. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to build these. Okay, oh boy, now we are going to the premium range. The range where even when the unit is not released, none of you are gonna get it, except for probably some free-to-play guy who just summons random 3 skulls. Okay, let's go. Oh, I am scared. I know the light one was ridiculous in the Sky Arena. I don't remember what the dark one does, but the light one was oof. Okay, basic attack, nothing. First skill, potentially 3 mana. Again, deals damage proportional to your attack speed to the enemy target with the beast twice. Same thing as the water and wind ones. 4 strips and oblivion. You know what? I like that skill. I don't know. 3 mana, 4 strips, oblivion? That's such a good skill. Okay, Wild Pursuit. So, 4 mana. Throws a spear and inflict damage proportional to your attack speed to enemies within range, AoE, and apply additional effects cumulatively, that word, depending on the level of fight effect. Wait, is that it? I feel like the passive is gonna be big, because this is just an AoE attack and a random additional effect. Okay, ultimate. Throws the spear hard, inflict damage to the enemies within the range, proportional to your attack speed. Again, the same thing as the second skill, so potentially just higher damage multipliers. Okay, so the passive has to be overloaded, otherwise this is a garbage unit. Okay, passive. Whenever you are hit by an enemy skill, you are given Energy of Light. Okay. Your critical damage increases at each level of Energy of Light, and Energy of Light decreases at certain intervals. Additionally, reduces damage taken based on attack speed and dismount. Crit damage. Oh, now, here's the thing. I don't like when passives increase stats that are capped. Again, crit damage is capped at 400%, so... you are gonna need to not build her on a lot of crit damage potentially. Again, we don't know how much this crit damage increases. My guess would be something like 30, maybe 25, 30, and up to 10 stacks, so potentially like 250, 300 crit damage. Now the cool thing is, she could be sort of a unit that just benefits without crit damage but with max critical rate. You build her super tanky, but instead of just that extra bit of HP or defense, you give her critical rate. And you keep her at low crit damage because she will stack crit damage. And stacking crit damage might not be beneficial because if she gains a lot of crit damage from this, she will overcap it and just not benefit from it. And with you having that crit damage, she will sort of... I forgot what I wanted to say. But yeah, basically, you might not want to stack crit damage. Too long didn't read version, right? Okay, and now dismounted form. So basic attack, nothing. First skill quickly rushes in and deals damage proportional to your attack speed to the enemy target and grants oblivion. Same thing as the water and wind ones. Second skill, throws a spear and inflicts damage to the enemy in proportional to your attack speed and apply additional effects cumulatively, depending on the level of light energy. Yeah, so looks like for the light one, everything is in the passive, which is a bit scary, because the moment you oblivion her, she's gonna become potentially very, very useless. Unlike the water and the wind ones who still have okay-ish second skills, this one potentially could be completely dead. So that's a bit scary, especially for a light and dark unit. Okay, ultimate. Throws the spear hard, inflicting damage to enemies within the range proportional to your attack speed, and apply additional effects cumulatively depending on the light energy level. Yeah, I don't know. And let's search the passive. Your critical damage increases at each level of energy of light. Energy of light decreases at certain intervals. Additionally, the amount of damage received and the amount of damage dealt proportional to your attack speed. Yeah, so nothing special here. Wow, I don't know. If there was no Oblivion, I would say Light One has a very, very unique skill set, but also it's not that great. Like, it's unique. It's not good though. it's a unique bad. So yeah, I don't know. She has to have amazing multipliers compared to the rest of them to really just wow me. I don't know. Like, I'm talking like 50% higher damage than the rest of the units, because just having extra crit damage does not amaze me that much, especially since the high tier players, they can just throw in a random crit damage 30% substat and just increase it by a lot. So I don't know. Not a huge fan of the light one so far. Okay, and the final one, the Dark Beast Rider. By the way, I forgot, but I already mentioned in the beginning, all Beast Riders are warrior types, just in case. So, basic attack, nothing special. First skill, 3 mana, potentially. Deals also, the 3 Beast Riders had the same skills. This one should have something similar to the fire one, right? Deals damage proportional to the attack speed to the enemy target with the beast twice. Each hit reduces defense and grants a reduction. Whoa. Each hit reduces defense, yeah, so that's very similar to the fire. And grants a reduction in effect resistance to yourself. What is that? Is that like a resistance? I think that's something like a resistance up. Is that even a debuff? I forgot. It sounds like it's gonna be resistance up. If your attack speed is higher than the enemy's target attack speed, the cooldown of Midnight Surprise... Wait, what? Wait, which skill is that? Oh, it's just a scuff translation, so it's gonna be the second skill. Yeah, the cooldown is reduced, so that's pretty much also a guaranteed cooldown reduction. I would say, okay, for Beast Riders, you either have to hit a very high attack speed assassin, or another Beast Rider for that to not proc this secondary passive, right? Because, like, who's gonna have high attack speed? Ariel? The Fire Paladin? No, none of them are gonna have it. So unless you are fighting another Beast Rider or a very, very speedy assassin, most cases you will activate that cooldown reduction. Okay, second skill. Throws a spear. Oh, potentially 4 mana, by the way. Throws a spear, inflict damage proportional to your attack speed, the enemies within the range, and apply additional effects. Again, those additional effects, we still don't know what they are exactly. Okay, so everything has to be in the passive, because the second skill was a little bit disappointing so far. Ultimate, throws the spear hard, inflicts damage. Yeah, so the same thing as the second skill, just most likely higher multipliers. And it's also AoE. Oh, this one is AoE as well. Second skill is AoE, ultimate is AoE. Cool. Okay, the passive, please do not disappoint. Whenever a debilitating effect is applied to you. Now, again, debilitating. If some of you in the comments know the exact translation of this, I'm gonna highlight the point where it's at, so it should be in this sentence. Maybe you know Korean and could translate it more accurately, so whether debilitating is a CC effect or just any harmful effect. But yeah, when a debilitating effect is applied to you, you are given dark energy. Okay, so whenever you receive either a CC or a regular harmful effect, I hope it's regular harmful effects, your attack and defense power increases at each level of dark energy. That's cool. That's cool. No, I think one of them had only attack. This one has attack and defense. And dark energy decreases at certain intervals. You cannot gain additional immunity. Oh, that's the thing. Although that's not a bad thing. If it needs to stack debuffs, right? You might not even want that immunity, actually. So that could be a good thing when you think about it. Buff up immunity on everyone except her and let her stack. But again, if she gets Oblivion, oi, not good. And the amount of damage received is reduced to the proportion of attack speed. Whenever it receives fail damage, it will defill and climb off. Okay, and now dismounted form. Let's see. Basic attack, nothing special. First skill, 3 mana, most likely. Deals damage proportional to your attack speed to the enemy target with the beast twice. Each hit reduces defense and grants a reduction in effect resistance, so resistance up, most likely. Wait a minute, I just realized, reduction? Oh, reduction! Reduction! So she's gonna give resistance down to herself. She is gonna apply the debuffs to herself. That makes sense. I just realized you would want to stack debuffs, right? So she applies resistance down to herself, which allows way more enemies to stack those harmful effects, or cease effects, whichever one this is. And based on that, she will increase her attack power and defense power. Now the thing is, getting harmful effects is very scary. Especially stuff like Oblivion, stuns, any CC effect really. So that increase in attack and defense in the passive better be massive. It better be like 40% per energy. Because I don't want to subject my unit to stacking like 7 harmful effects. Something like defense break stuns where she doesn't even move, right? I don't know. This is a very unique. I feel like this unit could play out very well if used in a very, very specific perfect team comp, but it could also go wrong very, very easily. If your attack speed is higher than the enemy's attack speed, the cooldown of the second skill is reduced. Okay, skill cooldown. This one, 4 mana. Throw a spear and inflict damage to the enemy in proportion to your attack speed and apply additional effects. Again, don't know what effects they are. And ultimate, it looks like it is the same. However, this time it is an AoE when dismounted and only a single target when dismounted for the second skill. And last one, passive. Your attack and defense power increases at each level of dark energy, and dark energy decreases at certain intervals. Additionally, immunity cannot be acquired, and the amount of damage received and damage dealt increases in proportional to one's attack speed. Wow. These are very fun units. I don't know how OP they will be, but I can tell you they are gonna be fun. I love the first skill of pretty much all of them. Water one? Honestly, if the water one is free, I would be very surprised because to me the water one seemed the strongest. Right? 4 strips, Oblivion, and the second skill, another 2 strips, and damage based on attack speed. Now, it might just be me, because I struggle with buffs a lot, but wow, these are interesting. These are interesting. I love the water one. I like the fire one, especially since she gets immunity herself, and she also increases attack speed based on the amount of energy she has. Other ones, I still don't know. A wind one is okay. I don't like the light one. The dark one looks very fun, but I don't know how strong she will be. I feel like that resistance down is a bit scary, but yeah. That's what we have, that's what we have. We don't have multipliers yet because these were only released in the forums, but hope you enjoyed and peace.